In this tutorial then we're going to be looking at how making sure kind of bevels and tapers on your models are right will make a big difference when it comes to your normal map bake. Now when you're producing a taper or anything like that on say a model like this, if we just select this loop here, you'll normally use something like bevel edge. Come over to your attributes over here and set your segments to be nice and high, so you get a nice kind of smooth curve off this model. Now it's good practice to exaggerate these curves a little bit when it comes to creating something for a normal map. So a really kind of thin bevel like that, you know, it can look really nice, and that one would probably work okay. But if you had something really thin, I would advise just making it slightly bigger than you would actually want, just so it's easier for the normal map to calculate it. So another bit of advice with this kind of thing is make sure everything's nice and straight. So what we have here is two versions of a model. We've got one with a nice smooth curve and one with a few like little dinks in it and stuff like that. So if we bake this one out first, so we'll overlay it on the top and we'll just freeze transform and delete history on those. We'll select our low poly and just have a quick look at the unwrap, and then load up transfer maps and clear all on these. We'll add selected in here, add our high poly in there and just check our envelope it's fitting. If it's not, we can always increase this a touch. And what I might do is use scale on this, but only do it along these two axes like that. Okay, there we go. So I'll add a normal map into here and again save this out in our source images folder. I'm just going to call this TA bevel N. So make sure you're in tangent space, make sure you've set your map size and we're on low just to start with, and don't delete your envelope on bake. So we've got low poly shape, high poly, normal map, all good. So if we just try hit and bake, and we will I'm using the wrong type of shader. So DirectX Lemon Shader is really useful because it's got all kinds of fancy effects in it and proper DirectX 11 stuff, but the one thing it doesn't do is link your normal map in when you make one, which is a bit frustrating. So every time you make one for that shader you have to load it in. Okay, so as you can see, even though we baked on the lowest kind of possible settings, the normal map baker has still picked up, and we've got low detail in our low poly, it's still picked up all these little tapers that we have in our model. So if we just preview the normal map, you can see all those tapers are actually coming out. So this the one thing to kind of be wary of with this. Kind of make sure your tapers are nice and clean. So if we just now bake again, but this time use our nice clean one, and that's not very well named, but it'll do for this example. And we'll just bake that again, but this time using our nice clean curve. And then we'll reload that normal map. You can see now that's nicely curved. So the point of this tutorial is to basically say, watch your tapers, your bevels, make sure they're nice and even, nice and rounded, and don't have them too kind of narrow around seams, and make sure they're nice and perfect as well. So avoid any kind of problems with your mesh like this, because the normal map bake will pick it up.